I want to get back to where Senator Sanders opened this first hour, and talk about this a little bit. He didn't use the word terrorism. I will. He started out by talking about the shooting, this kid, this 21-year-old, whose middle name is Storm, which makes me wonder if his parents are white supremacists. Stormfront.org is the biggest white supremacist website in the United States, maybe in the world, I don't know, but it's huge. And he's got a Facebook picture of him wearing a jacket with a couple of patches on it. One is the flag of Rhodesia, where they used to, white Rhodesia when Ian Smith was running it, it's now Zimbabwe, but before that it was apartheid white Rhodesia, and they killed black people with rat poison. And the other is the flag of South Africa before it became an integrated state, when it was still apartheid South Africa. And I get it that the federal government is calling this a hate crime. But this kid said to one of the people who he spared, who he did not kill, he said, you are raping our women. He's a white kid speaking to a black woman. You are raping our women. You are taking over our country, and you've got to go. I'm doing this from memory, but I'm pretty sure it's a verbatim quote. And in fact, we have a clip of her saying that, don't we? Yeah, let's just listen to her.
He just said, I have to do it. He said, you rape our women and you taking over our country, and you have to go.
Of Pastor Clementa C. Pinckney, who was murdered. He was the pastor of the church. He was a prodigy. He was a pastor at 13. He ran for the state senate at 23. He was a genius, and he's dead because he was black. Now the Justice Department is calling this a hate crime, or they're investigating it as a hate crime. I think we should be calling this domestic terrorism. Terrorism is when you kill civilians in order to frighten other civilians of a particular type or group. In other words, this act is not committed just against these 9 people. It is intended to be publicized so that everybody gets it, that everybody's at risk. And if this is not domestic terrorism, I don't know what is. And I realize over at Fox News, and Fox and Friends this morning, you can read about this at MediaMatters.org. In fact, they've got the clips. They're saying, well, why are they even calling this a hate crime? Is this part of the war on Christians? Honest to God. And, we need more guns, to protect ourselves from crazy people like this. Well, he wasn't crazy. He was a terrorist. He is a terrorist. They've captured him now. And I think it's time to start calling this terrorism. I think that what was done to Eric Garner was terrorism. I think what was done, I think the shooting after shooting after shooting of unarmed black, mostly men, by mostly white cops in the United States, I think that is domestic terrorism, or at least many of those instances, because what they're saying is to essentially the entire black community in that neighborhood, we can kill and get away with it. You better look out. Let's start talking about terrorism in a real way. ISIS represents virtually no threat to us at all. I mean, the best they might be able to do, let's say they could take out an airplane or something. We are losing so many people. We are losing so much potential. People dying prematurely. People not being able to get the health care they need. People not being able to get jobs because of institutional racism in this country. It is a form of terrorism. And this is the tip of the iceberg. Underneath this tip of this kid who murdered Reverend Pinckney, underneath the tip of that is this giant underwater iceberg of institutional racism in the United States, which for 400 years in this country has been enforced by terror. and is continuing to be enforced by terror. And it's time for somebody to stand up and call it what it is. It's terrorism.